So our new slogan was "Earn It the Carolina Way." There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, so we focus on the family aspect. There's the hugs, the celebration, the family culture, the love that goes into it.
1, 2, 3, heels!
I don't think we were ready yet to have a full different identity, and we liked what we had previously. We like to believe it, do it, earn it. So we definitely wanted to stay around that motto.
To have at least a couple hours a day where our kids can come out, take off their masks, and do the thing that they love the most was a fantastic release and opportunity for that, to compete and to practice every day and to have something to work for.
Yes,
It's been the weirdest season ever. Obviously, having 2 seasons was the beginning of the weirdness, but doing it in a pandemic and having a team bubble.
We had to wear masks around each other, we had to social distance during practice. It's all about embracing being uncomfortable, and I think that's what this team did really well.
A bit of a poker player, you don't always get the best hand, but you got to try and play it to the best of your ability.
And that will be the final. A score of 3-1. Carolina, the defending champions, a team that has not lost in 2 years.
And this upset is complete. The University of Louisville field hockey team at Justine Sowery, the biggest win in school history.
You have to learn a lesson. You cannot relax. You cannot stare at the ball. Ball watching is a big thing that if on defense, if you're mesmerized by the ball, you're in trouble.
It almost was like a little breath of relief, just because that isn't really the streak we're trying to keep going. The national championship is the streak that we're worried about. And in the end, that's all that matters.
Losing that game woke us up. We were oh my God, we need to really step up our game and play Carolina hockey if we want to make it all the way to the final.
We like to defend from the front and attack from the back. So we defend, we intercept. I call it instant offense. So if you make a clean intercept, you normally are going to eliminate the player that you might have been marking.
One of our consistent goals was to attack from the back and create some offense from back there. So I think we definitely stepped it up in that game, and we focused on it throughout the season.
I just remember running fast.
Matson carries it all the way in and scores. What an effort.
I attacked the one defender. We beat her. The next one came in a little too strong, and I pulled around her and shot on my reverse, which everybody knows I love doing. And I think that was kind of just the start of, okay, this is Carolina hockey, there's no need to worry.
It is always a good day when the rivals get together. Duke and North Carolina set to meet for the 94th time. Today's matchup taking place at Karen Shelton Stadium.
We'll have our first overtime game on the network.
Overtime coming up in Chapel Hill. 2 goals in the 4th quarter for Duke, ties it up with the Tar Heels.
You have to be prepared for it because it's almost a whole different game than normal 11v11 because you're just with 6 girls actually playing and then a goalie. So it's 7v7, there's so much more space.
We needed that 7v7 experience this spring, so I'm glad we started working on it early.
It is the final weekend of the regular season, playoff positioning on the line. 3-time defending ACC champion North Carolina wrapping up their regular season schedule against Wake Forest. Matson goes tumbling down, they play on. Matson shoots and scores! Hat trick for Aaron Matson.
Talk about an individual effort. Stays focused, pulls down Del Monte on the play. Look at how her eyes are focused down on that ball, Eric. And has one presence in mind, get back up, make the play.
I remember being on the ground and then getting up and shooting. I was able to keep the ball, so I just shot it. I guess it's just kind of how I am. I just need to score. I need the ball in the back of the net, whether it's me, my teammates, whoever. As long as we're scoring, we're doing something right.
5-0 Carolina.
I absolutely loved playing just ACC for a little while because we always know that every team we play is going to be good. We're fired up for every game. We don't really need any type of pep talk. Everyone's just excited.
The ACC is one of the best conferences for field hockey, so it's a hard game, it's a tough game, it's a close game every single game.
We were battle-tested, game in and game out. We were used to being in tight situations. Just having the ACC-only competition schedule was a huge advantage to all of us in the ACC.
Right now they'll celebrate career win number 700 for Karen Shelton.
Everybody can feel special because they were part of something. So this is a milestone, for me, but it really is a celebration of the program and the past 40 years of all those players and of all those assistant coaches.
Yeah, the 700th win was definitely really special for all of us, obviously for Coach.
We will have sudden victory. Golden goal overtime. A spot in the championship game on the lines.
And I just remember going into overtime being like, well, we're not going to lose this as a team, but I'm not going to also feel like crap because I'm the one who turned the ball over. I just remember going in again with the not going to lose mentality.
North Carolina is headed to the championship. Karen Shelton is alone at the top. Win number 701, the most wins for a head coach in NCAA field hockey history.
I remember after the game just huddling on the field and she held her flowers and she raised them so high and you could just see the smile on her face and how proud she was.
Yep, proud of you guys. All right, go get the bag. Let's go, get the bag, right? Heels on 3. 1, 2, 3. Heels!
Bidding on the back door, puts it in, and Louisville's on top 2-0.
I didn't lose any faith in us, and I knew that we would still continue to fight until the clock ran out. So I know we were down 2-0, but I was just thinking, it's the usual. We can come back from this.
Bryn Boylan scored early in that game. They teed up for Matson, who scores!
She is a special player and a fierce competitor. So it is fun and it's spectacular when you see goals like that. And it's motivating to others.
We just pressured them so high. Everyone had such a great attitude, such great energy, and I think that's why we pulled it out, is because everyone was just on board and we were all like, okay, press, press, press. And that's why we pulled it out.
And for the 23rd time, North Carolina has won the ACC championship.
Obviously, Michael Jordan, I think of Caitlin Falgowski too, because she wore Michael's number and of course was National Player of the Year, and we had to retire it. So no one wears 23 on our team.
23 is the number here. It's the sacred number, so it was exciting, and I know we were all fired up for it. Just sounds a little bit better when it's 23 and you go to UNC.
And the fact that we had the 23rd is amazing and awesome, and it just embodies the Carolina way, and I think we should be really proud of how we played and how we all did as a team.
I won't be heartbroken if we get to 24.
The Deacons and the Tar Heels on a day that feels a little bit like fall. And here come the Tar Heels. Matson, powerful swing to strike first. And Erin Matson with her 69th career score. Carolina leads 1-0.
Those fast break goals were spectacular, really. They were team goals. They were early in the game, and we didn't have a lot of scoring chances. I think it was 4, 5, 6 consecutive passes into the goal. And that's the kind of stuff we love.
Neither team going to score here in the fourth quarter. We have ourselves extra time.
They made a mistake in the overtime because their player got a yellow card. So they fouled. It was a bad foul from behind. She was punished, and that gave us the opportunity to win the game.
A penalty stroke coming here for the Tar Heels. Boylan shot, Boylan goal, Tar Heels are the winners.
The team trusts me in such a high-pressure situation, but it's funny because I'm not calm when a stroke is earned. I have to like trick myself into, oh, it's just practice, it's just practice.
She has such good like deception in her hands, and like she has such good skills that I think we all knew every time that she takes a stroke that it most likely will go in.
Bryn was just so consistent. Her stroke was so good and hard to read. So that was her first opportunity, and it was a big one. And she nailed it, and then she became our stroker ever since. That game was the closest to a penalty shootout that we've had in years, because that was the second overtime.
12th ranked Virginia welcomes in the top-ranked North Carolina Tar Heels. Nobody will have a late goal in this one. We've reached the end of regulation, and it'll take a little free field hockey to settle it between these two longtime rivals.
I remember Courtney and Rumey passing the ball to each other really well, and we kind of like went up a little bit more and more. And within a few passes, Erin found the net, which is awesome. I'm honestly really happy that that happened.
I would love to secure the win a little bit sooner, but winning like that feels like we learned something. We became a better team from that, so that was a great moment.
We made 13 consecutive passes into the goal to win the game in 58 seconds. So they never touched it. And we were really patient, and that was textbook of how it should be done.
It was funny afterwards to go back and watch the film, and Coach, I think, played it like 7 times, and she's like, look, this is what overtime should look like. This is how we should do it.
From Coyne Stadium in Syracuse, New York, the final regular season game in the ACC. And it is those top-ranked Tar Heels facing number 11 Syracuse. UNC is 4-0 in overtimes this season. Worth keeps coming, looks for a shot, and Worth just hangs on to it. Now sends one on, they score! Aaron Matson in the goal mouth. It's a hat trick for number 1, and North Carolina beats Syracuse in overtime, 4-3.
She's always so easy to find. She's always working her butt off to get open for us, and so when we have the ball in the middle, we almost always see her to be able to get the ball to her.
I like to score, but I also love when my teammates score. And we talked about it in film. We're like, we need more people scoring. We want more people scoring. Like, I don't want to be the only one scoring. I want everybody's name to be on that scorecard at least once or twice this season.
We're not the Aaron Matson show. You know, I've seen a lot of great players before, none greater than Aaron on a Division I college team. So she is spectacular. But I do want to take the load off of her. I don't want our players to be standing around waiting for Aaron to do her magic.
Overtime coming up in Chapel Hill.
We must love overtime because how many games did we go into overtime? 7.
We got in a habit of getting up like 2 goals and then losing that lead, and that's why we would end up going to overtime. It's because almost like we got comfortable with that lead and then they caught up, and so I had every bit of faith in our team that we would pull it out in overtime.
We definitely prioritized communication and keeping them out of not only our circle, but out of our 25. That was the goal. Don't even let them get an opportunity offensively.
I usually tell them, look, because you won before doesn't mean you're going to win now, right? And you're only as good as your next 77. We win because we execute, and we execute under pressure. You have to earn it every time.
NCAA automatic qualifier game here today in the ACC as we welcome you back to Karen Shelton Stadium. Inside, the shot, score, Wake Forest, and it is Maggie Dickman that puts it in, and the Demon Deacons on the board first here. Save, rebound, score, Madsen, and UNC able to tie it up with 1:48 here in the first quarter. Oh, and it's going to be a shot to score, and UNC able to get it in, and that is Cassie Sumfest, and it's a 2-1 lead. And you called it, they did. Shot, score, Wake Forest able to tie it up. We will step aside and be back with the second overtime sudden victory period. 10 more minutes on the clock. And you can see them laboring a little bit here now as the ball gets inside the circle. Whistle, and it's going to be a penalty stroke coming up here as Boylan brought it inside there for UNC number 6. She is 2 for 2 to win overtime games. Here we go again, and it's good. And UNC with Flynn Boylan in the second overtime win it 3-2 over Wake Forest.
I don't think she's really ever missed a stroke. She has multiple spots, you know, she's so confident in it, and we have every confidence in her that she's gonna make it.
Our standards were so high for ourselves that we were like disappointed even if we won, like because we were just so exhausted by the end of a game that we said this can't keep happening. We need to change it somehow.
Our guys fought like heck. I mean, that was a physical game, a very fast game, and at the end of the day also helped us prepare for what was yet to come.
The quarterfinal matchup, it's the host, Atlantic Coast Conference champion North Carolina Tar Heel, taking on the Stanford Cardinal.
We were the ones that like constantly had the ball, and we were very offensive, and they were going low in their circle, and they were really trying to protect their circle, whereas we were just like passing the ball around and trying to find like a way to score.
Sometimes we get caught up in the passing game, and we want to do the things that we want to do and play this nice, clean, pretty game. But when you get to the NCAA tournament, it doesn't matter. We just find a way to win, and we did that against Stanford.
And the final seconds roll off the clock for the 12th straight season. The North Carolina Tar Heels are headed to the NCAA Division I Field Hockey Final Four.
We are down to 4 teams remaining. Semifinals here today. First, number 4, Iowa, and number 1, UNC.
It's victim culture. They really are feisty and go at you. So it basically is going to be like a full-on fight.
You know, the ACC, obviously, we feel like we are the superior conference. But the Big Ten, you know, they feel like they're the best. And they were out to get us. We gave up shots, we gave up corners early, we bend, but we didn't break.
We love to dance. 12 years, it's another great number, and for us it doesn't mean anything that we've been here 9, 10, 11, 12 times. It's a new team, a new year, and we're here to make our mark every single year. But again, looking back at it, it's just remarkable what this program has done, what Coach has done.
And a goal.
UNC strikes first.
Yeah, I'm very proud of Katie Dixon. Right, she had a beautiful, you know, trapped the ball, shot it backhand, put it on target. It's great. And then Mia Leonard, she's going to be a good player for us as well, you know, for a long time. I do think those rain delays helped us. You know, because the first rain delay came right after we scored the goal.
We were told about this weather moving in, but it has happened, and it's a lightning delay.
So we had a chance to go in the locker room, to have a look at the video, to have our lines get together, talk about what was going on. I think we made very, very good use of the time.
We're a very fit team, and we take pride in our fitness and being able to have a deep bench and make sure that we could sustain the same energy for the whole game. And I think even with those breaks, on top of us already being fit, every time I came out of the locker room, I was like, wow, I feel like I haven't done anything. I feel like I'm fresh again.
We chatted about a few things. Our coaches had video already of that game that we looked over a little bit. And we were already reviewing for when we were going to go out there, like almost preparing for another game.
The Hawkeyes are just putting numbers on the ball wherever it is right now. Mike, this is the most pressure that Carolina's defense has seen this season.
We're playing good defense, but we're handing the ball right back to them. We need to find a way to get it out, and we need to be pressuring them instead of being under pressure.
This is where Karen Shelton and her staff and her team are at their best, making adjustments at halftime. I think the weather delay really helped them to utilize that time properly to figure out how to attack this Hawkeye defense.
If it's 3-0, this is going to make it real tough now if you're Iowa.
In the last 30 seconds, I was just having fun with it. I love those moments when we're up, you know, and we just need to protect the ball and plan a little bit of keep away. I think one of the girls called me a show off or something, and I was like, I'm not trying to show off, I'm just enjoying this right now.
And it's a final 3-0 UNC over Iowa. Tar Heels heading back to the title game for the 20th time in their history. We welcome you to Chapel Hill, North Carolina for the NCAA Field Hockey National Championship game between the #2 seed Michigan Wolverines and the #1 seed UNC Tar Heels.
On social media, everyone's wishing you good luck. All the sports teams put out videos.
Win the game, man. Go Heels. Go Heels. Go Heels. And we're wishing you all the best for men's lacrosse.
Good luck, Field Hockey. Go Heels.
And it's just so great to have that support behind you.
Out of Germany. Keep an eye on #1, Madsen. There she is, Madsen. Score it, and we're tied at 1.
She's so fast, but the backswing comes strong, and she gets clubhead speed. So she has a lot of power, and so yeah, it was a rocket.
Well, when you have a rocket of a shot and just a tremendous, tremendous velocity.
Ever since I was young, I've focused a lot on my wrist, and I think it's really surprising how much power you can create just from your wrist. And it's something that I always focus on, is the speed of the shot, how quick you can get it off.
Well, it's going to be Bryn Boylan against Anna Speaker to make it 2-1 UNC. And she does. And she's, yeah, I'll take it.
My parents and I have gone through every news article about that game. Her smart, low velocity goal, she pushed it or rolled it into the corner, and I'm like, yeah, it's a very polite way of putting it, and I appreciate that, but I very much absolutely missed the ball, and it still went in, so.
Coach always says is that if you give it a chance, you know, maybe it can get in, and so it happened, she did that, and she scored, and so it was a clutch goal, and it's just so funny.
I saw the replay. Her face was awesome. I turned to the bench, and they have that on television, and I said, "What did she do?" And they all in unison said, "She gave it a chance."
We were all laughing. Like I don't remember the last time that I was actually like laughing very hard during a national championship game.
My friend actually made that meme. I think it's hilarious.
Little bouncer, play down. We are heading to overtime.
Why not play extras? It's the end of the field hockey season, and we need to crown a national champion. 2 evenly matched teams.
We are so lucky to be able to represent our entire team right now in front of all of our fans on our home field. And now let's just finish it. Let's make sure that we bring it all home.
We're all tired, but this is the last game ever in this season, and it's on our home field. There's so many people watching. It's a national championship we get to host. This is so exciting. Let's just finish the job.
Okay, this is how this is going to end, because we knew we had full confidence in each other. We had full confidence in our 77. Played a lot of it over this past fall and spring, and I don't think it crossed anybody's mind once that this was even a question of who was going to win.
Madsen. Hit from behind, and a corner is coming up. We were talking about it, and now UNC has a chance. And you a little extra talking there at the end as she has some words for Craig Metz.
When she gets double teamed or sandwiched or knocked to the ground, it motivates her. And so that kid tripped her, and you could see a little John going on in between, but that motivated Aaron.
It definitely was along the lines of, that wasn't very nice, but not exactly those words. And I think it was just one foul too many, where I was like, okay, you know, let's just put this away. I'm sick of this. I'm sick of getting tackled. I'm sick of being on the ground.
It's in. Madsen. Harry Madsen trying to end with the back, and she does! UNC wins their 3rd straight national championship and the 9th in program history.
Some man tweeted it out, and there's just tons of people on the grass, tons of people in the stand, You see everyone's head going like this, trying to look. And then you just hear the sound of the backboard and everyone goes wild. Honestly, I don't think that I'll ever forget that moment.
It was unreal. We got to host both the ACC championship and the NCAA championship. It was almost not real. Like, it was amazing.
I was so proud of our student body. Even in COVID, they couldn't get a ticket, but they stood outside the gates. I mean, the fans were awesome. But to get a chance to play for a national championship on your home field is something incredibly special, and I'm just so thrilled we were able to win.
There were so many of our friends that were able to come and support us, and they yelled and they screamed our names, and we saw them really cheer for us, and it was like the definition of a Carolina family.
And the top player in field hockey does it again.
There's Dad Brian.
I got so many comments from that and texts being like, oh, it was adorable until he almost dropped you and you almost fell through the stands. But no, I'm okay. I'm all right. That was the least beat up thing that happened that night, so we're good.
We went through adversity together, and we found a way to win games. I've been coaching here 40 years. 20 times we've played for a national championship. So half of the time, because it's happened before, doesn't guarantee that it's going to happen again. We have to earn it. But half the time we're playing for a national championship. And I love that. I love that consistency about our program. And we hope to keep it going as long as we possibly can.
Back to back to back. I mean, it just feels surreal. Not many people get to say that, but to be able to say that is, I can't even really describe the feeling. It's just so awesome.
Back to back to back. Especially in this year, with everything is just so unknown and everything was so difficult for us. To be able to do that again and again, the team should be so proud of ourselves.
Back to back to back. I still cannot believe that we won 3 times. We've been through a hell of a year, and nothing meant more to me than finally holding up that trophy with my sisters.
Yeah, I still can't stop smiling. I was just an absolute moment of euphoria, the happiest I've ever been. And we've been here a few times, but it's different every time, and this time felt the best.
Okay, yeah, so the first one, Mary, beat Maryland. Can't change any letters or anything, so Mary, simple. Second, Prince, good old 6-1, I think, win against Princeton. So obviously we have Prince and Mary, cute little couple. I don't really know if this is their child or if they're, friends now, whatever happened, but this is Michelle. We were thinking oh, maybe Mitch or something like that, and we're like, no, we can't change any letters. So yeah, this is Michelle, Mish for short, but they're a little pack now, and hopefully they'll keep growing.